And then there is this so-called migration crisis. And why I'm saying so-called? Because I don't think it's a real migration crisis what we are living in Europe for the moment. It's a political crisis on the back of migrants. That is the reality. Look to the figures. Look to the figures. Before spreading fear into the populations and the public opinion, there were more than 1 million crossings in the Mediterranean in 2015. That fell to 360,000, too much in 2016. In 2017, 170,000. And now, in the first 6 months of the year, 45,000 crossings in the Mediterranean. That's 0.07% of the whole migration flows that exist worldwide. 68 million in all. So what we are talking about, we are not talking, in my opinion, about an influx suddenly of people crossing the Mediterranean. We are talking about a political decision, an opportunistic decision of one Minister of Interior in Italy, Mr. Salvini, who created this problem that we have now on our plate. That is happening. And Mr. Salvini has a very simple opinion. He says, not in Italy, put them in Germany, put them in Austria, put them maybe in Hungary. That's Mr. Salvini. And Mr. Orban, who is a friend of Mr. Salvini, says, no, not in Hungary. We put them in Italy, or we push them in Germany, or why not in Austria? And then your friend, Mr. Seehofer, has another opinion, says, no, not in Germany. Let's push back them to Italy, or eventually to Hungary, and maybe to your country, to Austria. And you're saying, you already said it, you don't want them in Austria. You want them to stay in Italy, or in Germany, or to send them in Hungary. You see what the problem is, Mr. Chancellor? The problem in Europe is that the only consensus that the Council and the Prime Ministers and you and your friends can agree today is not in my backyard. That's the only consensus that you're capable for the moment. And that's the scandal of Europe. Don't talk about migrants. We are talking about a political crisis on the back of migrants. And what I'm asking you is not to be tough migration, illegal migration. You have to be tough on illegal migration. But when an asylum seeker is coming from Syria, when he enters the European Union, he's illegal before he asks for asylum. What I'm asking you is to play the European card, as Austria has always done. And the European card is a real European border and coast guard. Back the proposals of the Commission before the end of the year with the Council. Secondly, make an agreement on Dublin. Parliaments have a position, the Council has no position for the moment. 3, create European reception centres where people can ask for asylum. Inside or outside Europe, I don't matter what it is. What is important is that they are not falling to the hands of the smugglers and the criminal gangs. And finally, Mr. President, a legal, they don't like it, what I'm going to say now. A legal system for economic migration, what we absolutely need. So I'm concluding, Chancellor. You can count on the support of all this Parliament. Not for big speeches against migration, but for European solutions on migration. Thank you.